Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking to you guys about one of the biggest mistakes I've already made when it comes to my 5.0 swapped S14. So let's get into today's video. Alright, let's get right into it. There's been a few things that have actually changed on this motor, and that would be the timing cover and the water pump. Now the water pump was really in bad condition. It really needed to change. The mistake I made was thinking that all the 5.0s carried the same water pump, and I ordered the wrong one. Also, that caused some issues with the pulleys not lining up, and it's just not gonna work for this motor setup. I'm gonna have to order a new pump, and this one will probably just sit around until I have another 5.0 for it to use it on. So let me show you guys the mistake I made. Alright, so nothing much has changed, like I said, other than the water pump and the timing cover. I got this timing cover from another 5.0 block that I had. It fit, it worked properly. The issue is when you go to put the pulley onto this pump. Let me give you guys a good shot of that. As you can see, it's way too far out. This pump is the correct one. As you can see, this is like some aluminum finish, and it's like for the newer style motors. This one is the pump that you need. It's that stubby all metal pump. It's like the factory one from Motorcraft. You can get it from a bunch of different people, but it's a short one. The bolts, they line up pretty much the same place. The only difference is that neck is gonna sit much further out, and it's gonna cause you not to line up properly with your pulley. So this has to come back off. I gotta order me a new one of these. Also, the manifold, I took the gooseneck off because it was cracked and it was bad. It's full of rust, so I gotta run water through that, and hopefully water only comes out of water outlets, and that this manifold is not so rusty that it's gonna let water come out of the cylinders and go through the motor and all that stuff. If that's the case, then I'm gonna have to change this manifold and get a new one. So there's a few different things that I have to actually work on before we can actually put this thing back in the S14. But for right now, we're making steady progress. This was just one setback that's gonna hold us up for a little while, getting a new pump in. That's one of those hold-ups about living in the Bahamas. You can't never get things right away. You gotta order it, you gotta wait a week or two, and then people are just gonna call you while you're recording a video. Yeah, so to get a new pump, you gotta order it, you gotta wait a week or two before it's delivered to the supplier in the States, and then you gotta get it delivered to the Bahamas. So that whole rigmarole, you gotta do that again. These headers, I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to get away with using them if I flip them forward and run some exhaust through the hood. Not sure if I want to do that. I think legit I'm rushing this build a little too much, is why I'm doing stuff like that. So I think the best thing for me to do is pump the brakes and make sure everything is actually gonna work the way that it's supposed to work, instead of rushing it and coming out with a bunch of issues when the motor's already in the car, because that's the worst case scenario. Working on the motor in the car is definitely harder than doing it here on a pallet or on the ground. So yeah, got to get the right water pump. I changed the timing cover because it was completely eaten out. It's just rusted right up. All the way in the back, you can see a hole through the water jacket. It's just really messed up. The seal was my biggest concern, so when I put that timing cover in, I put in brand new seals all around. And like I said, hopefully we get a water pump in pretty soon, and we get to put this thing back together and go from there. I know this is a video about the V8 swap S14, but I cannot wait to put some oil in this thing and hear it crank up for the first time. What I'm gonna do is, I know I cleaned this motor out properly, which is the 4-valve motor. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it for about 50 miles, and then I'm gonna drain the oil, put in some fresh oil, and then run it to about 250 miles, drain the oil out again, run some fresh oil, run it for another 250, drain the oil out again. And hopefully at that point we'll be done with any type of ring seating or breaking in or anything like that, and we should be in the clear to drive this thing how we want to drive it. So yeah, there you have it guys. It's looking like we're gonna have to just slow our roll when it comes to the 5.0 motor. We're gonna get the correct water pump on it. We're gonna figure out some type of header situation. I was thinking of getting those I think they call them tight fit headers that like they kind of wrap around the motor and point down. If those work to the point where they will bolt to the motor and then point down to where I can get an exhaust pipe out the back, then we'll do that, or out the side or something like that. If they don't work, then we'll just flip them upward and run an exhaust through the hood, and we'll probably just put some like some flaps on it so that water doesn't go down in it when it's not running. Either way, we're gonna continue to work on this thing. Either way, we're gonna get this thing running the way that I know we can get it running. I'm just gonna slow it down just a bit to make sure that I'm taking my time putting this thing together, so that all of the issues that we can deal with now while it's out the car, we can get it dealt with properly before we put it in the car, and it's harder to deal with then. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm truly an idiot for ordering this wrong pump and not getting this thing right, but we are gonna get it right because I pulled the part number off of it and I was able to find the correct pump. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and always remember, don't drift without your dreams, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.